What's up, everyone? This is Tatum. I'm back with another episode of Fuck This Review, where today I'm starting a new. If you follow my channel, you know I'd go down these rabbit holes. So right now I'm doing a Stevie Wonder Genius phase. I did Led Zeppelin. I've done the Beatles, Pink Floyd. I still got to do The Wall, but I like going down artist journeys and just doing reviews on a collection. I like doing reviews on an artist's discography in a way, for lack of a better word. So today I'm starting out with The Weeknd. I want to go through the trilogy of albums first to see, does the music hold up 10 years later? And on top of all that, I never heard any songs or albums in the trilogy. I never heard the House of Balloons, Thursday, none of those. This is my first. Like, I've heard Starboy, I heard Beauty Behind the Madness and Beyond. Like, I never listened to the Weeknd albums that made people fall in love with the Weeknd. So I wanted to do that, and today we're starting with House of Balloons. This album came out 2011 March. I think we just passed this 10th anniversary, which is crazy. To see all these artists that's fairly new be like 10 years in the game now, it's kind of weird in a way. And to be just first thoughts, I liked it. I thought it was really good. I thought you can hear the beginning of the changing of the guards, if that makes sense. And I'll get more into that in my recap. But this album was really, really good. And it doesn't have like, it's not pop Weeknd yet. So it was really just raw talent, just the image that he wanted you to see, and which is great. So I'm going to get into it. There's only nothing but 9 records on here. I'm doing the actual one, the actual House of Balloons, not the one that's actually in the trilogy. I'm doing the actual mixtape, the 9-record one. So let's get into it. The first record, You Wanna Be High for This. I think that was a great introduction to the album. It kind of, when listening to this, I was trying to put myself in 2011, right? With the artists like The Weeknd, since he is the biggest act we have now in popular music, it's his sound. So I'm kind of used to his sound already. So it's kind of, I'm trying to put myself in 2011, like, okay, this is the first time you're hearing this kind of, this sound. Because Weeknd definitely has his own sound, and Weeknd definitely has a bunch of children running around who copy that sound, and I like to call it the eerie, dark, drug-induced R&B sound. To get back to my point, half of this is a perfect introduction to this record because it lets you know the vibe. It lets you know. I feel like, okay, the way I took this album and had to break it down was like a story, right? So let's say it's the introduction to the movie. The movie is called House of Balloons. This is just like the you know how like in movies or action movie they'll have the great opening action scene to bring you into the album and let you know, shit, this is Transformers, this is Bad Boys, any Michael Bay movie. It just lets you know what you're getting into. And I think this was the perfect record for that. It kind of set up everything to follow. What You Need, one of my favorites. As soon as I heard it, I listened to both. I listened to the one without the Aaliyah vocals, and I listened to the one with the Aaliyah vocals. And I gotta say, I kind of like the one without her vocals more. Her vocals sound just forced on top of it to me. But besides that, this fucking song is amazing. Like, and I will give you, girl, what you need. I just love that part. Even though it's like the Dirty Mackin anthem, like he like. All R&B male singers always got the Dirty Mac song, like, he ain't loving you right, he ain't doing you right, I can do you better, I can do, like, it's just a common, it's an all male R&B songs. They gotta have at least 10 of them. But that's my only gripe with it. I'm not really a fan of Dirty Mac and songs, but I love this one. And the beat is eerie. It's like, again, it's that sound that he fathered. Like, everything after this is just a mimic of this, and you gotta give appreciation to that. He says in a 2015 Rolling Stone article, the mixtape definitely changed the culture. No one could do a trilogy again without thanking The Weeknd. And a lot of artists start doing things faster and quicker. Just listen to the radio. Every song is House of Balloons 2.0. And I was like, yeah, pop your shit, man. Because when you change shit, they really don't like to give you your flowers till you're gone. So you got to grab them motherfuckers. And I think that quote pretty much sums that up. And I forgot to mention, he gave fucking 5-6 records from this album to Drake for Take Care, which is crazy in itself. Go into House of Balloons slash Glass Table Girls. It's the centerpiece of the album to me. It's from what I read, he used to live in a house where it was just like rambunctious kind of crazy shit going on. They would throw parties and they would put balloons in there to make it seem festive and like it was an actual party, but it was really just a trashy kind of party. This song is kind of what is just the representation of that. It's I love the hook. This is a happy hour. House of Balloons let me know how, I don't know if the Weeknd fans saw it at this point, but House of Balloons shows me how big the Weeknd can go. It has that undertone of pop in it, but it's still raw to an extent, and I just thought that was dope. And then, like, you know, he's walking into the house. He's bringing it. So back to the story. Let's say he's bringing the girl into the house. She's never been to a function like this. She's in the House of Balloons. Crazy ass party. Shit's going wild. Sounds cool. Sex, drugs, you know. And then you get more into the crazy part of it when it gets to the second half, which Glass Table Girl, which, you know, he mentions bring the 707 out. And I was like, what the fuck is a 707? I thought it was like his area code or something. But it's like very expensive glass tables. So he's like, bring the 707 out so we can sniff coke off these tables. You know, rich people love to do. We're going to sniff coke out of $100 bills because it's the only way to do it. Dope. And I love the way he was rapping at the second half of it. And he was just going. It's something that we don't really get from the Weeknd anymore. That rapping, talking style, popping your shit kind of thing. The morning I look at it as like, him and that girl that he took to that party in the last song woke up. I feel like he corrupted. Let's say Weeknd is like the in this movie the just a dark force of however you want to do it. He brings this girl, take her to this party, blah blah blah. In the morning after, he's just fucking her life up. Like her life has changed after that party. Like it was never the same after that. Wicked Games. From what I read, that was like the first song released from here. I don't really like I said, I don't really remember though that song. I wasn't really a big Weeknd fan. Yeah, so I don't recognize these songs, but that song definitely sounds like a Weeknd record. That one sounds like it could be a Weeknd record on his last album, or he could just put that song out now. Again, it reminded me how many people took his sound, that sad, dangerous, drug, sex, R&B, over these slow trap / rock kind of instrumentals. That's what it is, with a pinch of pop. That's the sound, and that's what a lot of people, I won't mention any names, Bryson Tiller, took that whole sound and ran with it. And a lot more people, it's more than them. I could go on for days. Then we go into the party and the after party, which is the second song that's 2 songs in one. And I love that record. I love the party. I love the after party. I love that sample that's in there for the hook. That song just caught me. So immediately, that song just caught me. That switch, I'm not sure. I forget the producer name, but I think, well, they did have a falling out. I forget his name, but he did the first half. It was a dispute on how much he contributed to this album. And I don't know the intricacies of that at all. But I'm always pro artists and getting paid. Whoever did the work should get paid for it. But it was another producer who did the second half of that record. Again, like, dude, you're fucking terrible, Weeknd. You get these girls fall in love with you. I think this story reminds me of like a Frankie Lyman kind of thing. For those who don't know, Frankie Lyman is like, dude, you give off this false reality of who you are to these women, and then next thing you know, years down, some weeks, months down the line, you're showing your true characters. You're all drugged out all over the place. You done fucked up her carpet. You done did some horrible shit, and she just left with with this in a way. So Weeknd, shame on you. I hope you changed since this. I mean, this is a young Weeknd. He was only 20, I think he mentioned on the record. So I understand. I was a piece of shit at 22. We go from that to coming down, and that's kind of fucked up too. He's like saying, yo, like basically, I love you when I'm coming down from the drugs. Like, I understand it. I know I fucked up. I've been fucking these bitches while I was on the drugs. I done did all this crazy shit, and but when I come down, I got something to tell you, but I don't know how to say it. I guess I could say one thing, girl. I've been bad again, because this money comes with problems, and these problems come with solutions, and I use them. When I'm faded, I forget what you mean to me. I hope you know what you mean to me. I'm like, you son of a bitch. He said, and I ain't lie to nobody but me and you and me, but especially you. But you especially. Some shit like that. I was like, dude, loft music, I don't like that beat at all. And if I don't like the beat, it probably throws me off from the rest of the songs. So, yeah. And then he closed it out with the knowing. I could be wrong, but when I listen to that song, I'm like, you have the fucking nerve Like, you probably thought you could break my heart. Fool, you did all this shit to her. Oh, however many girls were muses for this album, and now you playing like the victim on the last record. Anyway, I just love that part when he says, now these tongues don't twist like they did before. He says, now that we're lying about the nights, hiding all behind the smiles, take a look at what you did. You probably thought you would break my heart. You probably thought you would make me cry, but baby, it's okay. It's okay. He better be speaking. If he's speaking from his perspective, you son of a bitch, after you just did all this to these women or women, you have the nerve. How women like this shit is because it's so honest, and he's being so honest with it. Is like, yeah, I can respect a man who's that honest. At least he's telling me what he's gonna do and his intentions in a way. But it's still like evil and mean and dark and twisted. This album should have been named My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. Let me get into my best songs. What You Need, House of Balloons, The Party, and After Party favorites. Worst song, Loft Music. You probably got that already. Best line, I got a brand new girl called her Rudolph. She probably OD before I show her off to mama. All these girls try to tell me she got no love, but all these girls ain't never had her blowjob. And I'm like, understandable, dude. Totally understandable. If I can give it a rating, fucks given out of 5, I'll give it a 4. And let's wrap this shit up. When it comes to Weeknd, House of Balloons, again, guys, this is my first time listening to this album. I never listened to any Weeknd albums from out the trilogy. So I'm trying to put myself into 2011 thought and train of mind when I'm listening to this. It's still fucking held up. So it let me know how many people took his style and still using it to this day. And it also makes me want to ask Weeknd fans, you guys had to be pissed when songs like Starboy came out. Like when he went straight pop, y'all had to be like, what the fuck is going on here? This is not the fucking drug-induced guy that we wanted. We wanted dark sex, drugs, suicidal thoughts, all that. What happened to that? But great album, man. I'm just glad I took the time to listen to it. I'm glad I'm about to go down this journey. I got 2 more to go. Let me know in the comments with some of your favorite records from House of Balloons. Just a heads up already, which CD is the best out of the trilogy to you? Let me know that as well in the comments. I feel like after I finish this trilogy, I'm going to have to check into rehab or something. But as always, though, fuck this review. I'm Tatum. Peace.